All right, we're live.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, having a fantastic week. I hope your guys' year is off to an incredible start. We just wrapped up the first quarter of the year, obviously, and we're excited to see what everybody has to offer coming the rest of the quarters. So we are super excited to once again bring Pavan Agarwal to you and talk about how you can make the next three quarters a little bit better than you made the first. Now, if you don't know who Pavan is the president and CEO of SunWest Mortgage. He's also the founder of Angel AI. This is a revolutionary tool for the real estate industry. What this does is this allows borrowers, home buyers to have 75% of their transaction done within AI, making everything much, much quicker and more efficient. So we're excited to talk and learn a little bit more about that, but we're also excited to talk about our topic today. Why are so many deals falling out? So Pavan, if you don't mind introducing the rest of your team, let's go ahead and kick it off.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Nathan. So on the call today, I have with me joining is Angel Sumlin, and she's one of our managing directors, and also our CTO, Jennifer Valinayagam. And we're going to have a great conversation today because, I'm going to start with the headline stat that almost two thirds of all the repurchase requests that your lenders get from Freddie, Fannie, and HUD, nearly 2/3 of them are because of income calculation errors. So stop and think about that. And think about why, if you've ever had a deal get held up the last minute because of, somebody puts a hold on it, the underwriter says, well, the guy doesn't qualify anymore or something. And that happens. Every realtor that's watching this, I know you've experienced that, probably in the not too distant past. And and a lot of realtors are like, why do these things happen? Why are all this last minute stuff? Why are lenders always scrambling? And it boils down to the fact that there's so much pressure on lenders because, like I said, nearly 2/3 of the repurchase requests. And when a lender gets a repurchase request, for those who don't know, that means if you just funded a $500,000 loan and Fannie says, oh wait, you didn't get the income right on this, you got to buy that whole $500,000 loan back. So that's an immediate hit to your liquidity. So lenders are always a little nervous and frantic about this process. And the loan officers, they're amazing. They do a great job of not letting you see what happens behind the curtains. So, and the solution to this problem is AI. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how AI has eliminated those repurchase requests, how AI has made the income calculation at the point of sale so that you as a realtor, you're talking to the borrower, and the borrower gives and tells you what he's making or shows you his income documents, and you within a few minutes will know the exact number and whether or not he qualifies on the spot, right? And because the AI is doing it, and here's the magic of it, is that you can rely 100% on the AI because we put a warranty behind it. So if you upload a couple of schedules of real estate, some K1s and the 1040s, and that's a complex deal. Normally you give that to your lender, and that could take a day or so or more to get analysis back and for you to know what to qualify him at, or whether or not he even qualifies. Here you drop it in the AI, and within we're looking at 3 to 5 minutes on the outside, 5 minutes, that you will have an exact answer, and whatever the AI tells you will stand behind.
So Pavan, let me ask you a little bit more in depth about that. When we're talking about income, you mentioned K1. So we're talking about W-2 employees as well as self-employed and maybe commissioned employees. Is that correct?
Exactly. All the huge variety of stuff. And even, people think that W-2 is easy, but, there's all these, we have it down to every single, like, County of LA, for example, their pay stubs, if anyone's looked at it, it's so complex with so many different codes and deductions and so forth. And most underwriters look at this. If they have never seen a County of LA pay stub, they freak out. Like, okay, how do I know what the real income is? right? And this is like all these different kind of businesses, different kind of government agencies that people work for all over the country. We have all of that data loaded into the AI, so it recognizes every kind of pay stub, every kind of W-2. It's seen. We have put over 200,000 loans through this thing in the past 7 years. Okay. And so it's seen everything. And on top of the 200,000 loans that we did in production, okay, is we got 45 years of data that we loaded into the AI, because that's how long. And so that would be, millions of loans of data that we've gone through, put through this system.
So one of my biggest headaches when I'm taking a look at a W-2 employee that has pay stubs, suddenly, you have bonuses and overtime, and we have to do some averaging in that. And those can be complicated. But we also have shift differential, not as common, but can be a huge headache. I'm assuming it knows all of that stuff. And what if I put in 2 pay stubs, but it needs to average some things? Will it guide me through additional documentation that I need?
It will figure that out. It will ask you for, it will ask you automatically for, like, if the 2 pay stubs only makes, like, sometimes you get paid weekly, right? And if 2 pay stubs only makes 2 weeks and you need 30 days of pay stubs, they'll say you need 2 more.
Okay.
Right? And if you put in your K1s and P&L, it'll do the P&L analysis. It'll actually read the P&Ls and analyze the P&Ls and say, oh wait, you got a declining income this year from your P&L, and it's declined more than whatever the rule is, 25%. I forget the rule. And then it's going to ask you for more documentation on that. And imagine, like, you're going to get that information on the spot as you give it the documents. It's immediately, within 3 to 6 minutes, it's responding to you exactly what the situation is. So you don't have to go and wait hours for an underwriter to get back to you, and hope that the underwriter got it right. Because everyone in the loan business knows that you can have the best underwriter in the world, and bless her heart, bless his heart. They work really hard, right? But they're only human, and they make mistakes. Right? And especially when it's, we're asking underwriters to do CPA level work. Some of these self-employed borrowers and have so many businesses and then consulting income and this and that and 15, 20 real estate properties they own, and get all that correct and accurate. Okay, it's really, really hard. Okay, that kind of stuff is better left to a machine. And this is the machine that does it, and it does it, like I said, so fast. You get answers on the spot, and it's so accurate that I put my money behind it.
Fantastic. I've used this, and let me tell you, it is a game changer. The amount of work and the time that it saves me as a loan officer or as a company owner, verifying and going back, quality control. Going back to review all of this information or calculate income, it's saving me, I would say on an average 30 minutes per transaction, sometimes maybe even a little bit more, oftentimes less, but you're getting a nice average. You're saving time. That allows me to go out there and find more business.
Yeah. And most importantly, you're saving stress, because you get the analysis back that you can rely on, because I've had brokers come to me and say, hey, this Angel calculated income that's like $1,000 more than what I calculate. I'm like, just go with it, man. We stand behind it. I tell them, you don't have to second guess it.
Okay, fantastic.
Whatever it says, we're gonna stand behind.
Well, for those who don't know, when you say you're standing behind it and the warranty, can you explain a little bit further? What do you mean by you putting your money behind it?
Great question. So what that means is, so let's say you drop in, a couple of K1s and a 1040, and Angel calculates an income of, say, $12,000 a month. And you did it by hand, and by hand you said, like, it's not 12,000, it's 8,000 a month. The guy doesn't qualify. But Angel's saying no, it's 12,000, and he does qualify. So we're going to honor that 12,000. Okay, and that means then you click the submit button. We're gonna issue the approval and fund the loan as per that, as whatever she said initially. So that's
Okay.
a big deal. So, and even if that means, even if it means that, like, if our quality control department goes in later on, and every lender has a pre and post QC department, and then they go in later on and they review it and they say, oh shoot, this was actually 8,000, not 12. Okay, we're still going to fund the loan, and I'm going to end up putting it on my balance sheet. And I've got a massive balance sheet to put this on, so it don't matter to me.
Okay, that is huge. That's as far as the broker side, which I'm not sure if everybody knows, but I'm a mortgage broker. Been doing it for 30 plus years. My liability is a little bit less than the lender, but I still have liability. So that's a huge relief. And depending on what state you may be originating loans in, the individual loan officer also has liability. So it's not just necessarily the brokerage, but it's the individual loan officer.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a big relief to know you're doing something.
Right. Yep. For a mortgage broker, it's a complete rep and warrant relief, because at that point, you're only on the hook for fraud. Like, obviously, the one thing, if you give me fake tax returns, then yes, then that still goes back on you. But yeah. So and here's the other thing is, like, over 200,000 deals we put through the AI so far, right? Over since 2019, and I've only had to balance sheet 4 loans.
Wow,
right.
That's impressive.
Right. And I've got $120 billion balance sheet, so I got plenty of room. I don't think she's going to make any more mistakes, and those 4 loans happen in the first 18 months or so of the product launch. So I'm in a really good shape. We're just running with this thing. It's so much fun. It makes the business fun. I think that's really the bottom line. Is takes all the stress out of the business, makes it fun. Because now, as an originator and as a realtor, when you take all that suspense and uncertainty away, you can really focus on doing the most important thing, which is getting ready, getting the customer prepared for that home ownership experience, and just building that relationship.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned fraud. I'm curious on the fraud before we start with the slides.
Mm-hmm.
Is AI looking for things that maybe will Angel pick up on things that look fraudulent and give warnings in this, or is that something that we can look forward to?
No, absolutely, because it's, again, 45 years of data, and it sees it detects all kinds of patterns. And all kinds of misrepresentations. But again, fraud detection is a cat and mouse game. There's no perfect solution to finding all. The crooks are always one step ahead. So what we on top of it, on top of the pattern recognition and predictive nature of it, it also has integrations with all the major data sources, like everything you could imagine. So when you give it those income documents, in that 6 minutes, it's actually gone out to the universe, and to all the government databases and everything. It's pulled all that up and cross-checked everything as well.
Okay. Well, let's. I have a few more questions for you, Pavan, but I'll get off the screen for a little bit and let you guys sort of take over, because I think you're going to probably answer some of them. And one of them, just to keep in mind, you don't need to answer it now. But, how does this benefit the realtor? I think a lot of our conversation has been targeted to the mortgage professional, but is this a tool that the realtor can use to improve their business? So I'll let you we can talk about that as we go, but I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, absolutely. For the realtor, it's complete certainty, right? And the realtor can self-fulfill. He can work directly with his customers and self-fulfill. He can work alongside his loan officer. So the realtor, because it's like a WhatsApp, it's like any other kind of chat application. So you can literally have the realtor, the customer, the AI, and the loan officer all talking at the same time. And it is the fastest way to get a deal done, because it keeps everyone on the same page. And the best part about it speaks like 100 different languages. So the realtor can be talking in Mandarin, and the borrower talking in Spanish, and the loan officer talking Vietnamese, and it'll keep it all straight.
That is cool. I am loving all the technology when it comes to translation and that. And I did not know that tool existed. So that's exciting. All right, Rick, you got us some slides. There we go.
All right, go ahead, Angel.
All right. So today we're talking about, obviously, income calculation with Angel AI, but how that really relates to you guys in your everyday life as realtors is what's causing deal fallout in today's market and how you can avoid it like the top agents are. Because this stat is huge. You guys have probably been feeling it. But it is not just you. It's not just your small circle. It is across the country. Staggering 14% of home sale agreements are falling through. That was a record high for the month of February. So more deals than ever, literally, are falling through. And why do you think that is, Pavan?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of how much money that cost. I mean, the cost to get a deal, to get a customer, show them properties, and get that deal into contracts, at least $1,000 a deal. Right. So there's a major hit to the income of realtors, because this is right off their top line. Not only their top line gone, but the bottom line is gone because all those expenses are burned. So, and this is, I mean, we've got to fix this.
Yeah, that's a great point. Not only are you out the commission you would have earned had the deal closed, but all of the expenses that you put into getting that client.
Right.
So,
if you don't mind, I'd like to chime in on a little bit as far as somebody that's down in the weeds and that, as far as what I'm seeing when contracts fall out. We are seeing the number of contracts that we bring in that fall out is right in that range, 10 to 12, 14%. And there is a large portion of them that are falling out, not so much on our end, but people buying our clients' homes because their incomes not qualifying like it did when they pre-qualified. Debt ratios are so tight, and we, every little penny counts right now as far as qualifying. The slightest change or the slightest error in income calculation is causing a significant amount of fallout.
Yeah, and the other thing is that because of that, two-thirds of all repurchases are income related. Lenders are being very cautious and careful on income, so they're being over conservative. And I see this all the time. That is continuously the feedback I get from our brokers is, "Wow, this is great because you're always giving us more income than we calculated." And I'm saying, no, we're not giving you more income. We're giving you the right income.
Yeah, and the reason is, or one of the reasons that all of a sudden more and more deals, the volume of deals falling apart, is because how people are earning money is changing drastically. You see these huge statistics. 57% of Gen Z workers have at least one side hustle. They're driving for Uber, they're delivering Instacart, they're influencers. Millennials also are increasingly having multiple income streams. So it's not just your easy, clean W-2 income anymore. Almost, everyone has something extra going on, and every penny really does count. So while traditional lenders are hesitant to give as much qualifying income with these side hustles as they really can by the rule, with Angel AI being able to analyze everything to the penny and get a warranted correct answer with any sort of complex income. And that's also any type of loan program too. So it's not just your conventionals, it's your FHA, it's your bank statements, it's your non-QM loans. Angel AI can, in minutes, get that income calculated accurately.
Yeah, that's a good point, because whether it's DSCR, which is the debt income coverage ratio, or whether it's bank statement, 12-month bank statement loans, the same thing. You just drop those documents in, and within a couple of minutes is going to tell you the qualifying income. And whatever it tells you, like everyone who's done a non-QM loan, they know what the headache it is to get exceptions and delays at closing, last minute stuff. But here, whatever Angel AI tells you, that's a true approval, and whatever it tells you, we're going to stand behind, and it's going to fund exactly that way. Okay, so go ahead, Angel.
Yeah, so it's not just your buyers haven't changed, right? We've been seeing this trend of income changing over the years, but the systems that traditional lenders are using haven't changed since, I don't know, Pavan, the 1800s?
Yeah, 1800s, yeah, there we go. Still ultimately it's done on paper. The only thing that's changed since 1800s and now is that instead of actual paper is a PDF paper on the screen.
Yeah, so it's the tools haven't progressed with the times, and then also there's that risk leering over every lender's shoulder of making sure that we're not over calculating. So they're really applying the rules as conservatively as possible, and the result is they're qualifying your clients with oftentimes a lot less income than they actually earn. So like Pavan said, we're not just giving them a couple extra $1,000 on that calculation. It's that it is there. Other lenders just aren't able to find it or are a little too nervous to apply the letter of the rule to the T.
Yeah, correct. And then, we were talking about that 14% fallout number. And if you really think about it, right, our partners that are using Angel AI, that's zero for them, because at the point of sale, they drop the documents in, and within 5 minutes, they're getting the income approval, right? And so Angel issues that true approval, review the income documents, and issue the approval, and that's warranted. They don't have any fallout after that, right? So, and the only way at that point it could possibly fall out would be like if the borrower went and bought a new car before closing, those classic big mistakes, which really falls on the loan officer, because the number one job of the loan officer now is to educate and prepare the customer for the home ownership process, is to be a good consultant and relationship builder, right? Not to be an income grunt, not to be a paperwork grunt. Okay.
And so along with not calculating the right amount of income, there's also that time factor. And getting the accurate calculation, no matter how complex it is, in just a few minutes versus, you guys have probably seen it, you've heard it from your clients, they're getting multiple requests for documentation. They think they've turned everything in, and then someone comes back and says, oh, one more thing every single day. They also have to go through several rounds of review. They're writing letters of explanation. There's clarification going back and forth. And for you all as agents, even though really it doesn't fall on you, your hands are tied, right? You can't do much to speed those underwriters along, but oftentimes you're the face of the transaction. You're the one that they're calling saying, what's going on? Why is this taking so long? So your clients are losing confidence. On the other end of the transaction, the sellers get impatient if delays are happening, and oftentimes those negotiations start to get a little bit more stressful.
Yeah, and there's also a social responsibility aspect of this. Is what we're seeing is we're saving borrowers who are just getting flat out declined by loan officers and by banks without even getting a fair chance. Like my favorite example is the deal we did recently. It's a traveling nurse, so she literally has a different paycheck every 30 days, and a different employer every 30 days. And she had gone to several banks before she found Angel AI, and they just didn't want to deal with the paperwork. They declined her without even taking the app. They talked to her. They're like, "What? 20 W-2s. Sorry, can't do it. All right. When she found Angel AI, she dropped the documents into Angel. Angel quickly gave her the approval, and then 2 weeks later she was closed. All right. So this is a real family that was being denied credit for no real reason.
Well, and what this does is this takes this pre-approval to another level. Oftentimes, when a realtor and a client is wanting a pre-approval, and you write that letter, they're looking for some documentation that shows that some due diligence has been put in, and typically that's going to be an automated underwriting system approval, an AUS, to go along with it. Well, the problem with that and an AUS run is that system is underwriting the loan, but it's relying on information that's manually inputted by the loan officer. So what this does is now you can be assured that the income's been approved, so that when it's going through an AUS system, it's accurate. And you can now say that income's, approved and actually mean it.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we don't call it pre-approvals. We call them true approvals. So we give you a true approval up front, and that true approval has a warranty, and we stick to that true approval right to the end. So there's no underwriter that's going to, like, what happens usually that a loan officer will get with if you're a realtor, you give your borrower to a loan officer. The loan officer will get the documents, and either the loan officer and the assistant together, they review the documents and they run it through the Fannie Mae system, and they get an approval on the Fannie Mae system, and then they issue a pre-approval. But no underwriter has ever looked at it. Okay. And so that's why you get a pre-approval, and then you get all this flood of documentation that's required, and a whole bunch of new work has to happen. Okay. But in this case, right, it's underwritten in like 5 minutes right up front. You take the documents and give it to the AI. The AI has finished the underwriting. There's no human underwriter. And that takes a minute for people to get used to this idea that, wait, what do you mean? Like, yes, really. You put the documents in the AI reviews it, and will issue the true approval on the spot. You're on mute.
Yeah, if I don't do that once a webinar, it's just not me. So, one of the questions I have is well, now I lost my train of thought too, of course. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. So bottom line, we've never issued a true approval that we didn't close. And 200,000 plus loans, we've honored everything Angel AI has said.
I know my question here. Sorry about that, guys. So when this loan is submitted for review, is the underwriter actually going through and redoing this to verify information, or do they say, hey, I have these pages, I'm good to go?
Well, this is the magic, and this is what most people listening right now will fall off their seat. We have no underwriters. It's the AI, and that's it.
Okay. Wow. No underwriters.
Yes. And we just did an analysis, it goes to our credit and risk management team if the AI is unable to make a decision on something or is uncertain about something. And what we just did an analysis for loans above 620 credit score, right? It was a 0% was escalated.
Yeah, that's it's here, folks. Times are changing, and it's time that we jump on board.
Yeah, so literally every single loan, and we're talking about thousands of loans, tens of thousands of loans. If they were above 620, they went through without an underwriter ever looking at it. So the only time we've thrown exceptions is the lower credit score manual underwrites. And that's not even our underwriters that look at it. That's our credit risk team And they're primarily, when they look at it, what they're really doing is analyzing it and seeing how they can train the AI so that the next time it goes through without it being escalated to them. So every day the AI gets smarter.
I think that's a really important point, Pavan, is that anytime a human does have to get involved, first off, of course, the human is there to make sure that everyone always gets an answer no matter what, an accurate answer. But every time that happens, the AI just gets smarter. Their job is to train the AI, right?
Yes. It's our company is all engineers and data scientists. The standard mortgage process is just not here.
Pavan, this is a future question. I'm going to have you pull out your crystal ball. When do you see this being the standard across the industry with everybody?
It's if you're not incorporating this technology, you're just going to be left behind. I would say in the next 2 years, it just even right now, like the brokers and loan officers that are using this, I mean, they're so far ahead. They're just they're seeing their business, like if they were doing three loans a month before they started using this technology, they're doing 6 to 10 loans a month. That they're taking business from somebody else. Right. So it's and at this pace, we're adding 15,000 new users a month to the platform. And those are mostly realtors and loan officers. So we're at close to 350,000 users on the platform. We're adding 15,000 a month, and it's just through virality. It's just word of mouth.
I got another question with you bringing up users. Is this something, I'm the type of person that if I want to get something done, I want to do as much research as I can before I go out and actually, get with a salesperson. Is this something that the consumer can go directly to and upload their own income documentation?
Yes, consumer can go directly to it. And you can just go to askangel.ai and anyone can use it. It's open access. Any realtor can use it. Any loan officer can use it. And the best thing about it is we want the loan officer involved. We want the realtor involved because the conversion rate, right? The conversion rate of a web lead is only 3% if there's no human involvement, but it's something like 25% or 30% if there is a human involvement. So we work closely with our loan officer and broker partners and our real estate partners because that human touch is so very necessary. What this does is it takes all the grunt work off your plate and accelerates the information flow so that the customer never feels like, oh, wait, 2 days later, they asked me for another thing. And 2 days later, they asked for another thing. Because the AI is analyzing the documents in real time. And if there's any questions, you're gonna have the questions back in real time. You don't have to wait. You don't have to get a 1040 and then wait 2 days for head of credit to review it and give you new questions back. So all that frustration is eliminated. All right.
And we already touched on this, but why it's happening, why you see most lenders miscalculate, or I should say undercalculating income that is legitimate, it's available, it can be used to qualify for them. As Pavan said, they're scared, right? They don't want to have to repurchase loans if the way that they calculated the income turns out to be wrong. Yeah. So they're applying income extra conservatively. Anything that is complex, which as we saw earlier on the call, is more than half of people have what they're considering complex income. So the default is no, right? So you have qualified buyers that appear to be unqualified. Your deals are falling apart late in the process. And the safety of the lender means lost deals for the agent and the loan officer, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, and I think the reality, just to chime in on that, the reality is loan officers, lenders, realtors, we want to do what's best for the customer, and we want to maximize their qualifying. But the bottom line is there is a CYA factor involved that everybody needs to know. This removes that.
Yeah, and that CYA factor creates a lot of tension behind the curtain. When you look inside the lenders, the tension between funders, underwriters, and loan officers is so thick, and we eliminate that completely because, like I said, in 5 minutes, you know for sure, no second guessing. All right, what do we got next, Angel?
So we're changing CYA to call your Angel AI.
Ask Angel. Ask Angel and get your answers. And you can also customize Angel. So you could private label Angel for yourself. Remember, it's completely an open access platform. Anyone can use it, and anyone can customize Angel. So literally, like Nathan, you could have Ask Angel/Nathan, and Angel will come up with your digital twin, your high definition video of you talking to the customer in a real-time conversation with the customer.
That's cool. Now, so is this being used where maybe a realtor wants to do a little research and their loan officer is unavailable? We send this. Can you send a link to the customer?
Absolutely.
Say, hey, do this. Okay.
Yeah, we take hundreds of loan applications every day with just the link. One of my favorite examples is Sal. Sal, one of our agents in Dallas. He sent his Angel Twin link to a first-time home buyer. She was 75 years old, and she's buying her first home. And he sent his link to her, and she took the whole loan application by talking to his digital twin, his AI twin. And she was so excited. And at the end of it, she's telling her whole family that she's an AI expert. And she got her approval on her own the same day.
Another cool twin story, one of our loan officers, Christina, she was a great realtor partner that had posted about one of her listings, and Christina went in and commented her Angel Twin link. And what did she get? 6 applications?
6 or 7 applications, right?
6 or 7.
Yeah, so people clicked that link that she posted on, it's just Facebook. People clicked the link and saw, the real life AI Christina. And they had a conversation with her. They loved it because the AI Christina is as amazing as a real Christina, along with the knowledge of hundreds of thousands of experts built into it. And they took the application with her. And then all she had to do, literally the loan was done. All she had to do was call and thank the borrower and build a relationship.
So there, everyone wins. The borrowers have their warranted, their true approval. Loan officers getting their warranted approvals in by just posting their link on social media, and the realtor has what they know to be qualified buyers for their listing.
Exactly. And the realtors and the loan officers brand is front and center, and their AI twin has built that relationship for them.
All right, I'm gonna ask a side question, the $1 million question that everybody's wondering. I have twin boys that are in college, and they're asking this all the time. What do you need us for? Is the loan officer needed anymore? Will the realtor be needed anymore? Where do we fit into this?
Well, like I said, if any web e-commerce site, okay, I don't care how you do it, whether you do it through AI or a web page or whatever, the conversion rate is only 3%. Okay? But when there's a human in the loop, the conversion rate is north of 25%. These are real national stats. Okay, so the hope, without a human touch, without a human experience in the process, there will not, people won't develop a relationship. People do business with people, not with companies, not with brands. It's about doing business with another person, especially in mortgage and real estate, which is the biggest investment of your life. You just need that little extra. So all of this stuff means it's a productivity multiplier. Those who are using it, using the tools, like Christina, she took 6 loan applications by spending 3 minutes of posting a link up on a social media post, right? Because normally to take 6 loan applications, you're spending at least 30 minutes per loan application, if not more. So it's basically going to be those who have AI and those who don't, and those who have AI are systematically sucking up all the business in the market. The vacuuming up the market.
All right, should we show them how it works?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right. The really cool thing about everything we're showing you guys and everything we're talking to you guys about is I don't even think that we've mentioned it's totally free. You can actually jump in there and start using it today. So you just go to askangel.ai. And if you want to talk to Pavan's twin, then go to askangel.com, askangel.ai/Pavan, and then you can have a full-on conversation with Pavan's twin. But here we are. I'm just going to do an income calculation. I'm going to use a self-employed borrower, and this is real documentation. I'll show you the redacted version in a moment so you guys can see exactly what we used. But this is, I think it's like 16 pages of different tax schedules for a self-employed borrower. All right, so I'm just going to say calculate income.
Misspelled calculate, but let's see if she figures it out.
Yeah, see, you don't even have to be the spelling bee master. All right, so first she's asking if I have a loan number with SunWest. If you do, that's, she can pull documents from that loan or add the calculation directly in once the calculation's done, but you don't have to. So I'm going to say no. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this is for any product. So now she's asking what product I want to do the income calculation for. I'm going to go ahead and do a conventional loan. And now she's asking me, is it the employment status, self-employed or wage income? And the reason that she asks, like Pavan mentioned earlier, is if I don't give her all of the documents that are needed for that employment type, she's going to let me know. So I'm going to do, as I said, self-employed. And now she's asking my borrower's name. She asked first name and last name. And here she's asking me for the documents to calculate the income. So you can either just drag and drop from your computer desktop or hit this little plus icon. And that's how you attach things into the chat. So I'm going to attach a document here. All right, and now she's going to be able to scan all of those pages. Oh, she's going to do my job and explain it for me. So she's going to extract the data and then calculate the income. So here she's given me an ETA of 3 minutes. Is that a lot quicker than if you submitted that to underwriting or if you did it yourself?
While she's doing that, can you bring up the document so we can see what it is?
Yes, good idea. So this is a redacted version of the documents that we uploaded. So individual tax returns,
Can you zoom in a little bit? Can
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. We gave her these schedules. Profit and loss. You see this borrower does rideshare. Does pretty well at rideshare.
Yeah. Not too bad.
See, he's doing Lyft, Uber. He's got car wash, laundry. Okay, so all of his expenses there. What's this one? All right, and I'm willing to guess, just in the time that it's taken me to peruse these documents, I'm gonna have an answer here. Let's see.
I have a question why this is calculating. Since we just saw a redacted tax return, what happens to all of the information that's being loaded? You obviously have non-public information that's being uploaded in the system. If they continue on and they close on a loan, you have regulations, and even if they don't, but just for peace of mind, what happens to all that information and how is it secured?
Well, like in excuse me, in California law, you can request, like if you create an account with any online service, you can request your account to be deleted, and then we have to delete it. Unless it's an actual loan application, then we're subject to the lending laws, which is, I think 3 years for a withdrawal and 7 years for a closed loan.
Okay.
But if you didn't actually create a loan and you're just using it to, test analysis stuff, you can use it, and you can always tell it, okay, I request my account to be deleted, and it'll delete it.
Okay. Now,
all right, and here we have it. So she gave me ETA 3 minutes, and you can see in less than 2 minutes, we got the qualifying income calculated, $4,469.75.
Yeah, and Angel, can you explain that? Can you go back to the screen? I'm going to point out some features. Can you explain that little shield and check mark?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what Pavan was mentioning. He puts his money behind that. He puts his wallet himself behind that. So if you get a calculation by Angel AI or any answer, and it has this little shield with a check mark, that means this answer is a warranted answer. Meaning you get an answer about a loan, whether it's the approval itself, the income calculation, a guideline question, any answer that has that little check mark, it's warranted. So if your borrower goes through, an underwriter doesn't agree with Angel AI, then SunWest will fund that loan based on that answer.
Yeah, and go back. Let's give him. Can you go back to the screen? Let's give him an example of an unwarranted answer. My favorite question is how far away is the sun? That's obviously not a mortgage question. So Angel's going to guess at that. She's studying astrophysics right now.
She wasn't expecting that question from me. No. Oh, she's not trading on that question.
So, and that's a good point. Obviously we know Angel's AI's trained for income documentation. But what about guidelines? Searching loan guidelines. What about searching real estate data?
Every imaginable guideline related to mortgages, consumer finance, CFPB rules is all in there.
Okay. So it's a little bit, it's your lending and your real estate platform. I mean, I saw it, Angel's twin there was it had your calendar
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And to give you an idea of that, Angel, if you could bring up angelai.com/comparison. This gives you a look into the kind of really complex stuff that Angel does. If you scroll down a little bit, Angel, to the comparison chart. So like here's some questions that you can ask it.
So this one, if it's a little small on your guys' screen, can you please calculate the income for our borrower? She's been employed with her current employer since October 20th, 2014. This will be a 30-year FHA loan. Attach the documents, and just like you guys saw in the demo, Angel AI completed the calculation, broke it down between their base income, overtime, and bonus, because this was a W-2 earner. And also gave some notes of some additional documents that they should be prepared to provide. Now, you guys may see other lenders out there trying to catch up and releasing their AI tools. We're not going to name names, but here is the answers that we got to asking that same question. Here, this one says, thanks for clarifying. I can guide you through the process and explain what documents you'll need, but I'm not able to calculate qualifying income from the uploaded documents. The other one here says, so it essentially connects to a generic web tool. Happy to help you explore what you can afford for a personalized estimate. I recommend trying these calculators.
Yeah. Can you scroll up? Can you show another scenario? So we have a bunch of scenarios, so that, and do encourage you guys to review the information. That we have tons of great information on our website and our YouTube channel. But the best thing to do is just to go into angelai.com and just start playing with her. And I see, Angel, can you show them how to request a workshop?
Yeah.
That's actually, I think, is the best place to start. So if you just go to askangel.ai and then go ahead and show them.
Yep. So you can either just type the word workshop, and what that will do is Angel AI will walk you through selecting a date and time that works for you. They're on demand, but they're live, human-led, one-on-one workshops. So you can just type workshops, or if you click on this little app gallery button at the bottom left, here you can browse through some of our most popular features within the apps, or you can select workshop registration right there as well. So again, during regular business hours, you can select any date and time that works for you. It's about an hour, and it's personalized to you, what you guys are most interested in your workshop. If you're just barely getting started in Angel AI and you want to walk through creating your account, just running through the basics, or if there's something specific you want to dive into that income calculation, you want to learn how Angel AI can cold call your leads for you, so you can really focus on whichever features you're most interested in, and you can actually do that as many times as you would like. So if you want to learn about one feature one time and then come back tomorrow or come back next week, you can do as many as you'd like.
Yep. And the thing is, the workshops are held by live humans. So we have an army of trainers that are available for you during business hours. And
so this is a live training, not a AI.
It's live and it's personalized. It's live person, interactive over Zoom, one-on-one.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. usually assign time. Would you mind showing us the apps as well? I find that interesting.
Yeah, so everything that you want to do in Angel AI, you can do just by talking to her, typing in, or using the speech to text and literally talking. But we do have the app gallery here to give you an idea of some of the features that are available, so you can browse through. And similar to how you might have your cell phone set up, they're organized into folders. So you have your loan calculators here. And I apologize when I'm sharing my screen and I'm on video, things run a little bit slow, but you'll have a much more rapid, smooth experience on your own. So here are a bunch of calculators that we have available as it pertains to mortgage approval. We have all of our marketing, sales and marketing tools. I mentioned she can cold call on your leads. So you would upload a file of leads, no limit to how many leads can be in there. And we actually have human beings in our call centers in Southern California, Texas, and Puerto Rico. And they are all bilingual, English and Spanish. They're calling on your leads. You provide the script, so they'll say exactly what you want them to say. You can even record a voicemail. So if they get someone's voicemail, they'll play your actual voice, and then they'll warm transfer the leads to you who are interested. So you're no longer having to cold call ever again. You can just have those incoming calls of your warm transfers.
And those are live people. Those are not,
Correct.
AI.
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and because there's a number of reasons why they have to be live, and the most important is customer service. You don't want to have an AI calling somebody, and because the minute they hear us AI, they're going to hang up. And you don't want to call a prospect with an AI and pretend that it's not an AI. That really they're gonna block you for sure if you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've experienced a little bit of that. Some people love it and other people are just like, they don't even want to hear what it's about. As soon as they hear it, it's still bot calls and the auto calls. They have a negative view from most people, and AI still, people are trying to grasp the idea that this is much better and different, but there's still that negative view of them.
Exactly. And then and also under the law, an AI bot call, an AI outbound call is still a robocall, and that's $2,500 a violation unless you have an e-signed acceptance to receive bot calls. So anybody who's doing AI outbound calling for telemarketing, watch out. You could be stuck with a big bill.
Yeah, Utah's got laws that just flat out ban it under most situations. Unless you're a politician, then you can do it all you want.
Politicians are always exempt.
They always get the exceptions, don't they? All right, I have one last question before we wrap up. It looks like we're down to about 2 minutes. And I know this is something that's going through loan officers' minds and maybe not so much the realtors out there. Does this, if a realtor goes directly to this with their client, are they blurring lines between loan officer licensing and realtor licensing? What if they don't have a loan officer they're working with and they go directly to Angel AI with the client? Do you have loan officers that bring a person into this? I mean, tell me a little bit more detail how that actually works.
Oh yeah. So no, the realtor is not blurring lines because they're not holding themselves out as a loan officer. They're not getting paid commission to do the loan. Okay. And when they if they don't already have a loan officer that they're working with, Angel will suggest a loan officer for them. Okay. And that would be any loan officer in our network that's in their neighborhood. Okay. And in addition to that, if they have a loan officer that they're working with, it's even easier because now that loan officer is automatically notified.
Okay. That answers my question. I I think that's important for people to understand that this is really a team effort. The more people we're involving in this, the better this entire system is going to run for all of us.
Yes. And remember, you can have 3-4-way conference. You can have group chats, basically. So the realtor, the loan officer, and the borrower, and even the closing agent can all be in the same chat and talking about the same deal. And it keeps it all straight.
Okay. Is there an app for this, or is it the website works very well with the mobile devices?
The website works amazing, but if you install the app, you get a bunch of additional features like a blockchain wallet. And your points, and because the other thing that you do with this is more you use it, you earn points. You earn rewards points simply by using it, and then you could use the rewards points to do things like pay for credit reports and appraisals and lock extensions.
Okay.
So you definitely should install the app and start earning your rewards points. And there's all sorts of fun stuff in here. That if you play with all the apps within the app, there's games, and there's different there's tokens, there's all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Now the app, we just go to the App Store if you're on Apple device and look up Angel AI, and it's going to pop right in there for us. Okay.
Yep. Just search in either App Store or Android Store. Just search for Angel AI and you'll see it. Just look for the ballerina.
All right, we are 1 minute over time. Any last comments, Pavan, Angel, that you want to bring up?
Oh, this was super fun and exciting. And there's so many tools in here. It's going to save you money. Almost everything is free, including, most realtors are spending hundreds of dollars every month just on DocuSign. And we have AngelSign, which is a complete replacement for that. And it's certified by the agencies and so forth. So there's no reason why you should be wasting your money with other products. And the next webinar, we need to talk about our transaction coordinator capabilities.
Okay. Well, I've sort of left with the impression today that we've just sort of touched on the tip of the iceberg on that. So I'm excited for our next webinar. And yeah, I learned a whole bunch of things today. And so thank you so much for being here with us. Everybody that joined, I hope you received some valuable information and that you will go to Ask Angel AI and create your accounts and start using this. This is exciting stuff. This is fun. This sort of makes the industry exciting, a new aspect that we haven't seen. So jump on board.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Everybody have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.